Hello, hello. How is everyone? We are going to work on an iguana today. So if you guys have not gotten your paints and stuff out yet, then go ahead and start grabbing those and getting ready. I'm going to pull our picture for today so that you guys can see it. And I'm going to share this out to everyone, hopefully, if I can find the share button here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let me see. My share button is not wanting to come up, so there we are. Paint. How was everybody's weekend? I hope it was good. I had a really good weekend this weekend. I had my grandkids and we played and we did all kinds of fun stuff. So we had a really nice weekend. And all right, sorry, I'm trying to get all this stuff shared out to everybody so everybody knows I'm back on. I have not been on. I didn't get on Thursday or on Friday because my internet is still acting so weird. And I have asked, I have not been able to, get online, but today it was acting better, so hopefully, oh, I'm glad, Tolly, you had a good weekend. So hopefully it will do okay for today's tutorial. I don't know, y'all will have to let me know. Okay, so we are going to do an iguana. You guys had mentioned last week that would be something that would be fun. Hey, Kinder Kelly, good morning. How are you? Hey, Stacy Lee, how are you? Talia, welcome. Good to see you back. I know you've been busy. All right, well, it's not doing well, guys. So my internet is actually, it's kind of on the blink, and I've got new equipment coming in from Starlink, but it hasn't gotten here yet. I'm crossing my fingers that it comes today. So I'm going to do my best, but I wanted to come on here and at least try because I missed on Thursday and Friday because it just was not, I mean, I couldn't even get my computer to load up, but today my computer's acting right and my phone seems to be acting pretty normal. So I'm going to do the best I can. And if it's freezing up or if it's kicking you out, just exit out and come back in and see if that helps. I'm sorry if that's what happens. But I'm going to do the best I can. Now, I did this one right here. This is actually a my monthly one that is in my Patreon for the month. So if you're wanting this tutorial right here, that's where you can find that one. But we're going to do him. We're just going to do a different version of him today. So, because I know you guys were wanting to do that. So that is what we are going to do today. And let me get him added to here, and I will put him up on the screen. He's going to be holding a popsicle because it is summer, and so I want to do a fun summer one. So hang on one second, and I will get him put up for you guys. Of course, the moment that I start a live, my internet starts acting crazy again. So I don't know. We'll see. I might not be able to get him up. I may just have to show you the picture on the screen. So let me just get out of this stuff and I will show you guys. All right. So here is what we're going to do today. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of this right now while it looks like my internet is doing well right now. Thank you for the gummy bears. I love them. And the dolphin. Guys, y'all are so awesome. Thank you so much. So this is the iguana that we will be painting today. So if you guys want to take a screenshot, go ahead and do that now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is today's lesson. So everybody get ready, and we are going to get going on this little guy. Okay? All right. So we are going to actually do, let's see, hang on one second. Let me pull up. I'm going to be using the Meat and Tube paints today. And the reason I'm doing that is because I used them on this one. And because I used them on this one, I want to make sure that he's the same colors. So that is why I'm doing that. Although in the picture, I don't think he is. I think he's, well, the greens, I want to use the same greens. The other colors will be these, this coral color, and it will change. But remember, these are chameleons, so they actually change colors. So it's not a big deal. But we're still going to use these paints just because I've already got them out. So if any of you guys missed the last live that I did, that was this one. You can get the replay on my Tube of View. So don't forget that. That will be, it's actually uploading right now. So it should be available probably by the time we're off of here. And then also all of these are now available. So if you missed any of our fruit series, the replays on all of those are now available on my Tube of View. So you can grab them there. This one is on my Patreon. I'm not allowed to say that, so I just have to spell it for you guys, but that is where you can find this one. That's our monthly one for this month. Okay. All right, let's get ready and let's do this little guy. I'm going to put you guys on the overhead here so you guys can see better. And we are going to get started. Now, go ahead and grab your paper. I do not like this paper. It's got some torn edges, so I'm going to use this one instead. We are using the Meat and paper today. That is product number 3 in the shopping bag below. So if you guys are looking to, you know, get a really nice, good paper, then that is the paper that I recommend for you guys. And it is very, very textured, as you can see. It's got this gorgeous texture on it. I love, love, love this paper. It's my favorite paper. I use it pretty much exclusively, except when I'm doing the meat and postcards, and those are a hot press, which I love those as well. That is these. This is a hot press. So I really like these meat and postcards as well. But again, they're not quite as textured because the hot press doesn't texture as much. But they are super absorbent. They show vibrant, super bright colors. So they're really, really nice. So if you're looking for a good hot press paper, then that one is a good one to have. And that is the, let's see, that is product number, hang on, let me find it. Number 24. If you're looking for those postcards. All right, we're going to go ahead and we are going to tape off our edges to start. So if everybody wants to grab some washi tape or some painter's tape or some art tape or whatever, grab it and go ahead and get your edges taped off. I like to do about a 1/4 inch border. So I give myself about a 1/4 of an inch all the way around so that I have a cute little frame on my paper once I peel the tape. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Janster. How's it going? Thank you for the heart me. Thank you for the rose, Stacy Lee. Appreciate that. You guys are awesome for sending me all those amazing gifts. They are very, very helpful in helping me to get our stuff out to the FYP, because we do want everybody to join us. So if you hit the screen and tap likes and share and repost and all the things, that is very helpful as well. Don't forget to grab your engagement points at the Heart Me up here so that you can get your fan club points, and also that helps your account and my account as far as engagement goes. So, hey, Stacy Lee. All right, let's get ready to paint. Now, my tube paints are in this little container because I like to paint out of a pan. That's just what I prefer. This was an empty pan that Meeden makes. It's product number 37 in the cart. And I put all of my tube paints in here, and then I just pull the tube and refill them when I need to. So that is why mine look a little different than the photo below that is pinned. But trust me when I say they are the Meeden tube paints. And I keep those in my drawer, and then I just pull them when I need them, or in my Meeden paint drawer. So they look like this. Okay, so this is what they look like. There are 48 colors in this set, and they come with these very large tubes of paint. Okay, they're a 0.4 fluid ounce tube. So you get a lot of paint in this set. This paint set will last you a very long time. I've had it for at least 2 years, and I use it all the time. And I just refill, so you can see all of the gorgeous colors. All right, so that is the paint set that we're going to be using today. I will be using the Meeden, or I'm sorry, the Nic Pro pencil. And I'm going to be using the 0.5. Okay, so I'll be using the 0.5 out of this set. Yay, Shelly! I'm glad you did too. Glad you're here. All right, so this is going to be, this is product number 4. It's a full size pencil set, and it comes with your 0.5, your 0.7, and your 0.9. Sorry, I got to get it open. Ugh, there we go. You get erasers, you get extra leads, and you get all of your different sizes. So 0.5, 0.7, 0.9, and then 3 2.0s. Comes in this little case, and you can just carry it wherever you want to go, which I do. All right, and my grandson has my other Nic Pro set. It's no longer available. It makes me sad. I love that set as well, but if you have that set, obviously use that one. There's no need to buy a second set. I only got a second set because it wasn't available anymore for you guys, and I like to use things that are available to you guys in case you want to grab them up. Good morning, Kaylin. How are you? So good to have you on this morning. All right. So everybody should have gotten a screenshot of what we are doing. Hey, Gunpowder Milkshake, how's it going? Let's see. Yay, you got the tube paints. I'm so excited for you. Oh, yeah, it just came through. Sorry, I didn't see. You just got those. Yay, you're going to love them. I have shown it, Rhonda, but I'm about to show it again. Hey, Debbie, how's it going? You had a baby boy. How exciting. Yay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for the heart me, Debbie. Oh, you didn't get a notification today, Rhonda? That's weird. I think I sent you one. Maybe I accidentally didn't click on you. It kind of, sometimes it rearranges it. I can only do 15 at a time, and I'll go through the first 15 and then I'll do the next 15. And sometimes it kind of rearranges it so it doesn't, I accidentally will miss some occasionally. So that might have been what happened. Kaylin, congratulations so much for having your baby. Have you, recovered well and you're feeling good and all that? Yes, gunpowder and milkshakes. I do. I have I have all of the videos up except for the only one I don't have up is the last one that we did, and it's uploading as we speak, which is this one. So that one's currently uploading now, but everything else should be up. Now the lettering videos are under our Thursday lettering lab playlist. So just know that they're not under the TikTok live playlist. They're under the lettering lab playlist. Okay. So they're a little different. Okay. So we are going to start drawing our iguana. So let me show you our photo. Let me see if I can get him to go up on the screen too, just in case. If I can get him to go up in the corner of the screen for you guys, that would be helpful. Let's see if I can get him to do that. Is he up there? He may or may not show up, but until then, let me show you guys. Here, everybody go ahead and take your screenshot. Until then, let me show you guys. Here, everybody go ahead and take your screenshots right here. Oh, there he just popped up. I'm gonna move him out of the way here. All right, so go ahead and take a screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully, CD Live, thank you so much for the heart me. All right, has everybody gotten their screenshots that they need? Be sure and type in the comments. If I need to put him up again, just let me know. All right. Yes, the Bible journaling ones are up as well. Those should be up in, they'll be under the Bible journaling tab. So there's two different, I tried to separate all of those out. So, and we'll get back to that schedule soon. I just have been busy doing ACEOs because I have, I'm trying to get enough of them to go ahead and do another listing on the EBAY site. And I wanted to have enough. So I've been working on ACEOs, but we'll get back to doing our lettering lab and we'll get back to doing our Bible journaling as well. Maybe we'll start that this week if I have the ability to. We'll see how my internet starts handling things, but okay. Okay, good, Shelly, and he's there so everybody can see. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started on getting him drawn. So everybody go ahead. If you've gotten your paper taped off, we're going to go ahead and start from the bottom. And we're going to draw his feet first. So we're going to go around with the feet. It's like a little oval. And then the next one is going to go a little bit farther out. And it's going to kind of come down and close that out. And from there, we have our little leg that comes up like this. And we have a line in between. And it kind of comes down and closes out the foot. Okay. So we have our oval here, and our oval here with that line. All right, now let's get the belly drawn, and that's going to give us the height and show so that we can kind of get his head in the right aspect. You know what I'm going to do? Y'all forgive me. I'm going to erase that and try again. I forget we've got the popsicle, and we have to have room for the popsicle. So I'm going to move him over just a little bit. So let me erase him and try again. So if you missed that the first time, we're going to start over just a little bit further. And we still have to leave room for the tail too. So we just want to make sure we, from a size standpoint, we have it right. So we're going to go with that first oval. And then that second one is going to come up from here and go out like that. And then we're going to do his little leg like that. Let me see. Yeah, That's right. Nope. I messed it up. Sorry, guys. I closed it out before I should have. There we go, like that. Then his leg comes down. Wait, what am I doing here, guys? I did it once and now I've messed it up. All right, one more time. Here. And then we're going to go here. And then we're going to go here. Sorry. Like this. And that comes out like this. All right. Got to connect that. That's what I get for doing it over. There we go. All right. And this is where our belly is going to start. And it's going to go up and in like that. Okay. And we will bring our arm that has the popsicle. It's going to come down like this and like this. Okay. So there's our arm. Then our second arm is going to come across the belly like this, just kind of at an angle. Across his belly. And then we have the back side of his little tail is going to come down and it's going to circle and come in and circle around like this. And then let's just make it a curly Q all the way up. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to finish out. Oh, his tail's going to widen out at the bottom. So let me take this baseline off here till we figure out the belly part. All right. The belly comes out here like this and around to where the hand is. I made that a little short. Just like that. And then we have the other foot or the other leg that comes up into the tail. And it brings the feet out like this. So we go out, and then we have that little toe right there. We have another little toe right here, and then we have that kind of thumb to foot right there. Now the hand is just going to come out like this. I'm going to do 3 little nubs, and then we'll finish that belly out at the bottom right here like this. Okay, I'm going to make this a little taller since the other side is taller. Okay. And this comes all the way into here, and this comes all the way into here. Just separate those out. Now, this is how the tail looks. So we're going to go, the tail is going to come all the way down. So it hits the belly, and then it comes down to the ground like this. Okay, so there's the tail. I know it's kind of tall, but I didn't have room, so I'm doing it like that instead. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. And then let's see. Now it's time to do the head. All right. So for the head, we're going to do this, like that smiley face look that I've always said there, the bottom of it, it's like a big smile. It's like a big flat smile like that. and then it comes up and it goes all the way up to a point. It's a rounded point, and then comes all the way down to here. Make that a little bit wider. Okay. Now, I know it looks weird. Trust the process. Trust the process. How are we doing? How's everybody doing so far? All right. Let's go ahead and do the hand. Let's do the popsicle first. So the hand kind of comes out, and we have a little thumb that goes around the popsicle stick. Okay. And then the popsicle stick comes up right here. Let's make sure it's aimed up enough to where it's going to hit his little face. So we're going to do right here is the popsicle stick. It's going to come down here. Oh, we got to make it wider. Hang on. All right, so there's the thumb. And then we have the fingers that come around like this. They're just little circles and ovals like that. And the popsicle stick comes down like this. Okay, so there he is holding his little popsicle stick. All right, we're doing good. Let's see what I got here. All right, we're doing good. Let's see what I got here. Okay. All right, so now the popsicle stick is or the popsicle itself comes across like this. It has these rounded edges, or rounded little corners. It's gonna go all the way up and over his little cheek like that. So we're gonna erase that little cheek because we don't have to worry about that because the popsicle is gonna cover it. Okay. And it's going to have these little grooves in the center. Like that. Okay, so he's holding that. Now let's get his mouth. So his mouth is going to come around like this and up. Okay. And his tongue is going to come out right here. So it's going to come out of here and be, oh, hang on. I'm going to move it over just a tad so it doesn't go over his shoulder, but instead goes off. So it's going to be like this. It's going to come down like this. And that right there is kind of where his mouth is open. Okay. So let's erase this part right here in the middle of the tongue. Got it? How are we doing so far? Just checking in on everybody. Are we there so far? Am I going too slow or too fast? Just give me some feedback. If I'm going too slow, let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know. All right, so we put the little line there. All right, Kinder says she's good. All right, good. Okay, now his eyes. His eyes are going to be really, really big, and they're going to go kind of bulging outside of his little head like that. So we're going to erase this. And then the same thing over here. They're going to kind of go out. So we're going to erase that. It doesn't matter how many times I do this, y'all. Every time I'm like, this looks like crap. But it's the process. Remember, it is the process. When I was working on this little guy, he looked like a crazy mess, especially with the glasses. It was really a mess. All right, so we have that. So we're going to put his, let's see, hang on. Let's put his little pupils in there. All right. Okay. And then right here, we have that little ridge that comes down the middle. Okay. And we'll put that in as well. All right. Okay. And now we have our ground, which I'm not going to really worry about too much. I'm not even going to worry about the flowers. Okay. So there he is. All right, everybody give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know, yes, you're good. No, I need to hold off. Are we ready to start putting color down on him? All the things. I am going to go ahead and pull out the brushes that we're going to use. Because we are going to need our Meeden number 1. We are going to need our Golden Maple number 12. And we're going to need our blue detail from Golden Maple as well. Okay, so you're going to need a teeny tiny itty bitty detail brush. A 10 is what this one is. It's the same as this one. Okay, so they're a 10. All right, so you're going to need a 10 detail, 10 over 0. You're going to need a 1, and you're going to need a 12 over 0 for our details, okay? If you don't have those, just get whatever brushes that you normally use and pull them out, okay? All right. All right, Kinder's ready, Tolly is ready. All right, let me get a sip of my coffee. And we will get moving on that. Okay. Let me turn this off because this is very, very cold blowing on my face. Of course, I'm going to get hot in a minute and have to turn it back on, but for now, I'm going to turn it off. Okay. Let me get the colors pulled up. Okay, so we're going to be using the Meeden tube paints. My brain is not wanting to work today. We're going to be using this coral color right here. And we are going to be using this lime green color right here. And we are going to be using the green for his body. We'll also use some of this ochre color as well. And then we're going to be adding in detail with colored pencils and with our gel pens. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is spray your paints and make sure that they are conditioned. So I'm going to spray them down. I'm going to need a paper towel. So if you don't have a paper towel or an art sponge, go ahead and grab that as well. And then we will get going. I'm going to wipe up all this water. All right. Go ahead and grab your Meeden number 1. Get some water, some clear water. Okay, some clear water. And you're going to dip first into your coral. Okay. And we're going to take this coral color and we are going to mix it to where it's a very, very light color. So this is that same color. So this is what I used for the iguana, this little guy. So all of these colors are the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that coral and we're going to put lots of water in there so that it's nice and light. Okay. And then we're going to take some clear water and we're going to, oh, you know what? Let's lighten up these lines a little bit with our kneaded eraser first. And we'll do our background at the end like what I did in my other one. I want it to be a little splotchy like that. And I don't want it to be inside of him. So we're going to go ahead and do it the way that we're going to do the background at the end. Okay. All right, so now let's take some clear water and go ahead and put that clear water on either side of that little ridge that we drew in the middle, okay? So don't put it in the ridge, just put it on either side, okay? And then take your detail brush, I'm doing the number 12, and dip into that coral and put it right along the edge there. Actually, I'm going to dip into the actual coral itself on mine because I want a little bit more pigment right here. Then I'm going to rinse my detail brush and I'm going to just push that coral color to the edges. And I'm going to drag the lighter coral color to the center. Okay. So you're going to have darker edges and a lighter center. That's what we want. And we're going to do that same thing here. Okay, we want this light coral, and then we're going to take and we're going to have that darker coral edges right here. And in the middle, it's very, very light. Okay. You just want them to be similar on both sides. But remember, it's an animal. They're not going to be exact. Okay. Now, we have these little eyelids that go above the eyes. So what we're going to do on that is we are going to have to darken that up. And in order to do that, we need to have some detail in there, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take out my Grabby multi-liner. That is the 003. And I'm going to use that to create that detail so I know where to put my shadows. All right, so we're going to go right along here with our black marker, okay? You're going to make sure that this is dry before you use your 003 on that because you don't want to mess it up. Remember, the 003 is very, very thin tip, and because of the tip on it, it will dry out really quickly or it will ruin very easily, and you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure it's dry. Now we're going to come right above that line barely with our little line like that. And then just above that, we're going to have these little kind of scales like this. Okay, above his eye. Okay, and that's the details around the eye that we want in order to put the dark in. Now we're going to take that teeny tiny 10/0 and we're going to get a dark like a lot of pigment from our coral. Okay, so we're going to get, we want this to be dark. Okay, not too much water. And we're going to go right above that first line that we drew with this dark pigment. And we're going to give just a little bit of a shadow there. If it's not wanting to spread because it is a teeny tiny little brush, then make sure you have enough water on it. Okay, so we're darkening that up. And then we're going to darken up right above the little scales. Okay, the same way. So we're going to get some more pigment. And we're going to take right above these scales. And we're just going to darken that area. Okay. And then we're going to take our number 12, which is our next size up detail brush, get some clear water. And we're just going to kind of spread that shadow up. That's going to give his eyes that definition around the eye. Okay. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. Okay. So we're going to come all the way around here with it. And then we're going to give him those little scales. Okay. Now, we probably should have come out with this one too. Let's do that. I didn't see that, but we're going to. All right. That gives him kind of the raised brow area. All right. So take your dark pigment and your number 10 and go ahead and let's finish this out first. And then go right inside these scales right here. Because they won't have a shadow on them because they're kind of going above him. Okay. And then do that same thing on the other side. We're going to go inside this first area with the dark pigment. And then we're going to go outside the scales. And then inside the scales on the part that's on the outside of his face. Okay? All right. So we have all of that. I'm filling in these scales with the very light pigment of that same color. Just to bring them all together. Okay. All right. That looks good. Okay. So now we're going to take this center area and we're going to get some clear water with our number 1 brush from Meeden. And we're going to take some clear water and we're going to go right down the center with that clear water. And we're going to go all the way into the face, underneath the eyes, all the way to the mouth. We just want it to be glistening, guys. We don't want it to be drenched, but we want it to be wet enough for this pigment to spread. So make sure you get enough water in there that it's not going to dry before we get this pigment in. Okay. All right. So now take your number 12 brush and we're going to dip into the lime green yellowy color. And we are going to drop that color in right here at the top. It's going to be very, very light. You can barely see it. And then we're going to dip into the lime itself that's a little bit darker. And we're going to add that right around the mouth. And then we're going to take that same brush, rinse it, dip into the coral color, and go right under the eyes. And right under this eye, right here. And we're going to bring it down the cheeks. Okay. Now, I want you to rinse that brush, and I want you to just kind of blend this as best you can. The center is going to stay very light. So just kind of bring those colors together. Okay. Now, the main thing is you want that coral darker all the way around the eyes. So make sure that you get that shadowing around the eyes really well. Okay. Add water if you need that to blend in with that green more. Make sure over here you do the same thing. Add water if you need it to blend with that green more. Just keep the middle part right there lighter. Because that's where that little ridge is going to come down. Okay. All right, how are we doing so far? We're fixing to switch more to the green now for the bottom part of the mouth. All right, let's go ahead and do the tongue and get that out of the way. I'm gonna use this, this red color right here for the tongue. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill that tongue in with clear water first. Oh, let me dry this. Let me dry his upper head. Okay, now let's get his tongue with clear water. And I'm going to drop in that red. I'm going to drop it at the top and right here on the left. And I'm going to clear my brush and I'm going to drag it. Okay. All right, so now we have his tongue done, and it looks weird because we haven't done the shadows around the mouth just yet, but we're fixing to get to that, okay? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to think about, we're gonna use, let me pull this into the screen so you guys can see. All right, so we are going to use the same green, that lime green, and then we'll go in and add some shadows with that, with a darker, like a ochre in a minute. So go ahead and fill in the bottom part of his mouth with water. And take some of that lime green and just go right across the chin like this. Okay. Then rinse your brush and drag that up. Okay, do the same thing here on this side. Just fill it in with clear water. Take that lime green, go right across the chin here, and then drag it up. Okay, now with that same technique, you're gonna keep this wet. We're gonna go in with this ochre color. We're gonna add that in right here. And then also a little bit of the olive green. Not much. Make sure it's still wet as you add in this olive green. Okay. Now rinse your brush and go ahead and blend all that. Okay, do the same thing on this side. Make sure it's wet. We're going to add in the ochre color first. And then we're going to add in the olive green. Rinse your brush. And blend it. I got a little too much green there, so I'm going to add in some more of this ochre color to balance that. Okay. All right. Now let's add in the shadows right around his mouth so that it looks like that tongue is coming out of his mouth. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a really, really dark brown. And we're going to kind of just come right along this edge of the mouth. Like that. Oh, that was purple. I thought that was brown. Let me get the brown. I should have looked at my swatches and I didn't. Okay. Let's redo that before I spread it, before I blend it. Where is my dark brown? Okay. That's this right here. Oh, fall. All right, let me get this cleaned up. I messed it up. I hate it when I do that. One thing about watercolor, though, is you can fix it. All you got to do is add water and pick it up. All right, let's try this again. Let me dry this. Okay. One more time, y'all. All right, we're going to take our brown. Make sure that's brown. Oh, that's black. Where is my dark brown here? This must be it. It would help if I pulled my swatch out. I'm just going to use this color right here. It's dark enough. Okay. Hey, Jamie. How's it going? fill these in and then come out from there. Okay. All right. So now we've kind of got that shadow in there. So it looks like that tongue is like coming out of the mouth, which is what we wanted. Now we need to go over the top of the tongue too, though. So hang on one second. Like that. And these just kind of widen out as it hits the tongue. So you have kind of that shadowing in there. Like the mouth is open. Okay. All right. So now we have that done. And let's move on to, actually, let's add a little bit more green into the upper part of the head. Go ahead and clean your water out and get some clear water in here. Now that we have that mouth done. So go ahead and go up in here with this clear water. And let's do that same thing with that lime green. We're going to go in and add that lime green across the top there. And then we're going to add in a little bit of that ochre color right in the corners here. And then some of that olive green right through here. Okay, now rinse your brush. Take your number 1 and get some clear water and just kind of spread that so that it blends up into our face. That makes that better. I'm going to add a little bit more of this coral color right over here in the corner. I feel like that's necessary. Okay. All right, that looks good. Let's dry it. We'll add details and stuff in a little while. I bet you have been, Jamie. How's your garden coming along? My tomatoes aren't doing very well. I've got a few, but for some reason they're not producing. The plants are not even growing bigger. I think they don't have enough sun. It's been overcast, and we have lots of trees around us. So this is the first time I've done a garden out on this property. So it's kind of a learning process as to where to put it so that they're getting the right kind of sun and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. Oh, that's good. You got rid of those buggies, those pesky bugs. Okay. Next, we're going to add in some clear water into the belly and the neck area. So go ahead and go right alongside the arm and just add in that clear water. Okay. And what we're going to do is we are going to add in that same green combination with the lime green. It's going to go right along the side of the belly and the bottom and right up under the chin. Okay. And then we are going to add in that ochre color, that yellow ochre right along here as well. And then we're going to add in that olive green. Okay, now we're going to take our Meta number 1 brush. with clear water, and we're going to blend that all out. Okay. And make sure that it's nice and smooth in the blend. Darker around the edges, lighter around the center. And the very, very center is almost white. Okay. Now on this side, we're going to do that same thing. Go ahead and put in some clear water. Mine's a little bit green because I didn't really rinse my brush good, but that's okay because it's all going to be green in a minute. So, but put that clear water in. Do that same thing. Take your detail brush, your number 12. Drop in the lime green right here at the base. And then drop in some of that ochre. And then drop in some of the olive green. Okay. Now rinse your brush and spread that up. So you have more of a white area right here in the center. And you have that darker, I'm going to mix that. I'm going to mix that green ochre color. Actually, that's what this is. So this is this olive green and this ochre color mixed together. And I'm just going to drop that in. I was mixing it on the actual paper itself, but you can do it either way. And I'm going to do it that way because it's faster. All right. Okay. So now we have the belly done. And now it's time to go into the feet and the hands. So let's do that. That's going to be with this coral color. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop in some of that color right here at the top. Work all the way through the feet. Okay. And then right at the top of the feet, you're going to drop in more of that coral so it's a little bit darker. Give it a little bit of a shadow right at the top of the knee there. I'm going to add, I feel like it needs a little bit more orange. So I'm going to add this dark orange right here, just a little bit. And then I'm going to rinse my brush and I'm going to blend that in as well. Okay. And then right here at where the heel touches the belly, we're going to do that same thing. Just a teeny tiny bit of that orange. Kind of drag that out. Okay. All right. Now let's do the other side. Same thing with that coral. We're going to drop it all in. The knees, the leg, the feet, the whole thing. Yeah, that's how we did. We got hot and cold and hot and cold. And then we've had a ton of rain recently and storms. And so it's been really unpredictable. All right, drop in some of that coral right along here. Rinse your brush and spread it. And then right along here, we want some shadows. So make sure that's wet Drop in your coral right along the base, right there. Rinse your brush and spread that out with some clear water. And then, and then one more time, right along here, where the second foot connects, or the second toe connects. Clear water and blend. Excellent. All right. Excellent. All right. All right. Y'all let me know if I'm back. Give me a thumbs up. Sorry guys, I forgot to plug my phone in this morning, so I didn't plug it in, and I used all my battery on my live, so I had to plug it back in. It died. My bad. On my live, so I had to plug it back in. It died. My bad. All right, guys. I don't know if this is how long this is going to last or not, but my phone is acting weird. So I want you guys to give me a thumbs up in the comments if you can hear me or see me, so I know that I'm back on, because it's not really working for me. I don't know why. Sometimes it kicks in and sometimes it doesn't. It's bizarre. Well, let me know. And gone again. See, I don't understand. My phone was weird, but then my internet started acting weird. And I don't know why. So let me know, am I back? Okay, I'm here. Good, Talia. Thank you. I don't know how long this is going to last, you guys. Y'all have to, you know what? I'm going to go run and get my other cord, because it's a little quicker charging cord. Plus, it doesn't heat my phone up, because it says the temperature on my phone is acting weird. So give me just 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. I'm going to run and grab my other phone. My other cord. All right. I'm going to use this cord because I worry about, for some reason that one heats up, and then it heats my phone up. I think it's because it's a rapid charger. Are you doing catch up? Oh gosh. All right, let's see if this cord will do better. It may or may not, but we'll see. I feel like my phone gets super hot when I'm out here in the studio, and I think it must be this cord, because it's a rapid charger, and it seems like it always heats my phone up too much. So, okay, where were we at? We had just finished the knees. Is everybody ready to go? Y'all grab your coffee, all the things. Sorry about that, guys. That happens sometimes. But the joys of being live. All right. All right, Tolly is ready. Cool. Okay, so go ahead and take your detail brush, and we're going to put water back in this because this is dried when I didn't want it to. And I am going to add just a teeny tiny bit of that orange, just like we did in the first one, right up here at the top. And right here. Okay. And then go ahead and spread that out with clear water. Guys, if for some reason this cuts me off, I will stop where I'm at and I will pick it back up. Hopefully my internet stuff will come in this afternoon and I'll pick it back up my next live. So I'm not going to keep fighting with it, but just so you know, I should be getting my internet equipment, my new equipment back in today, and hopefully we'll be back up and running. And then I won't finish this. I will wait if I have to, and we'll finish it on the next one if that happens. Just that way, those of you who are painting with me won't be left to be like, what happened? What do I do next? Okay. Oh, there's no sound. Uh-oh. How about now? Is there sound now? Phone is so hot, y'all. It's probably going to tell me the temperature is. All right, Tolly, you can hear me? Okay. Carrie, exit out. Oh, I can't tell you. Somebody type in for her to exit out and come back in. That sometimes helps with the sound. If somebody wants to put that in the comments. All right, let's do the arms. All right, the arms are going to be stripes. So we're going to go with the green first. So go ahead and take this green right here. Make it really, really light. And go into the arms with that green right here at the top. Over the shoulder. And then just kind of drag it down with clear water. So it gets really light. All the way to the hand. Okay. Awesome. 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 We are going to, hang on one second. Just a second. All right, sorry. All right. Oh, y'all, I've got too many things going on. It's stressing me out. Okay, we're gonna use this greenish blue right here. And we're gonna make some stripes with it, okay? So go ahead and just make a small little line of that pigment right across the arm, and then rinse your brush, and then take clear water and drag it. To make that stripe. Okay. Now, same thing with this coral color. You're going to take this coral color, you're going to take a little bit of the coral, and you're going to draw a stripe like this. You're going to rinse your brush, and you're going to drag, and you're going to push. So you're going to push the color up and drag the color down. And that's going to bring those blends kind of together so that it doesn't look striped, it looks blended. Okay. If it's not enough, you can always add a little bit more color by adding a little more pigment. But you want them to blend. You don't want it to be like stripes. You want the colors to kind of blend together. So you want the green and the coral to kind of mix right here where they touch. Okay. Now, same thing above it. We're going to do that coral color above it the same way. We're going to go right above here. Rinse your brush. And then drag it down and push it up. So that they blend together. And we're just going to keep doing that all the way down till we get to the hand. Okay. Yep, a lizard. It's a chameleon eating a popsicle. That's right. All right. I am going to do the blue again, or the bluish green again. So I'm going to put color right here. Rinse your brush. Push it up. Drag it down. Make sure they blend. Okay. If it's not blending good, add water. And it'll make that blend happen. Okay. Coral is next. Rinse your brush. Push it up. Drag it down. The coral's a lot lighter, so I'm adding in a little more pigment so that it'll blend a little bit better. And then one more of the blue-green. And then the coral. And that coral is going to go all the way down into the hand. So go ahead and bring it all the way in there, and then add a little pigment at the top to kind of blend those together. Okay. Now, same thing with the hand. We're going to add a little bit of this orange in there. Just like we did on the, hang on a second, I've got some water that I dripped right here I want to pick up. Just like we did with the knees, we're going to blend this orange in just a little bit. Not too much. If it's overpowering, kind of like this is, then go ahead and get a dry brush and pick it up. And then add a little bit more of that coral back in. Okay. Now when we start adding the detail in, you'll notice kind of how that blend is happening, okay? But for now, looks really nice. Let's leave it. All right, let's do the arm the same way over here. Remember, we started with this dark green that we mixed, and we are going to add that in and then rinse our brush and drag that color down. Okay. Now, take the blue, or sorry, we're going to take the coral first, and we're going to go right here at the top, and we're going to add it right there. We're going to drag it down. To make that first stripe. Then we're going to add in our blue-green. It's still a little wet, so it's kind of spreading on its own. But that's okay. It's still making the stripe and blending, so that's the idea. Okay. Then let's do the coral. Same thing, clear water, push it up, drag it down, make that blended stripe. And then we'll do another blue-green. Rinse your brush, clear water, drag it up. I got almost too much in there, so I'm going to add some water to that. Lighten that up. Okay. And now the coral goes all the way into the hand. Okay. Hang on 1 second. And here. Drag it all the way into the hand. And the fingers. Of the popsicle stick. Clear water. Anytime I want just a light coat, I will rinse my brush and just put clear water and spread it around, because I don't want this hand to be too dark. Okay, so there we have the hand done. Oh, y'all, this is taking a while. I didn't realize this was going to take so long. I'm sorry, guys. We're already an hour and a half in. Everybody okay? We doing well? Good. Okay. Hang on 1 second, y'all. I just got a message about my mom, and I want to make sure everything's okay. Okay, so my mom took a fall yesterday, y'all, and she hit her head and she hurt her arm and her knees. And I just got a message from my mom's best friend, which is also her roommate, and they are going to the doctor to get some x-rays. So if everybody could just keep her in your prayers, that she would be okay, I'm going to say a quick prayer for her. Lord, please keep her safe and healthy and help her to heal quickly. And Father, just cover her in your peace. I know that most of this is just her concern because she wants to make sure she's okay. And she'll feel better when she hears the doctor tell her that. But I also know that she is hurting. And so I pray right now that you would just cover her in your healing and in your pain relief and all of the amazing peace that you have to give all of us. I pray you would just cover her in that. And I ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen. Sorry, guys. I know that was an interruption, but it was important and I wanted to do that. And it's never an interruption when you need prayer. So, and I've done that for several of you on here many times. And anytime you need prayer and you need me to step in and intercede for you, it's never an interruption in this process. So thank you guys, all of you who are praying for her as well. All right, let's go ahead and I'll keep you guys posted on how that works, what the doctor says, because I'm sure that BB will text me as soon as she knows something. So I wanted you guys to just say a quick prayer for her. And I'm very thankful that you guys did that. Okay, let's do the handle of the popsicle now. So we're going to go right in here. And we're going to drop in water, just clear water. And we're going to take this ochre color, because that's the color we're going to use for the handle. And we're going to drop that in. And then we're going to rinse our brush, and we're just going to drag that up. Okay. So we have that shadow right around the fingers, and then it's a little lighter at the top. Then we want a little darker shadow right across the bottom right here, or the bottom of the popsicle itself. So let's go ahead and just blend that out as well. Okay. All right, so we have that popsicle stick done. And let's do the popsicle. Take your meat in number 1. Drop in whatever color you want your popsicle to be. This one that I have in the photo is 3 different colors, so we'll do that 3 different color blend just because why not, right? All right, so let's go ahead and put our water in. And we're going to drop in the 3 colors. We're going to start with the yellow at the top, so pick whatever yellow you want to use and drop it in at the top. You want your popsicle to stay wet this whole time, so just make sure it does. Then we're going to take the pink, whatever pink you want to use. I'm going to use this kind of majestic pink here. Drop that in the middle. And make sure that when you do that, these blend together. Okay, and then at the bottom, we're going to drop in this cerulean blue. Just like that. Okay, blend them together. And we will go in and add our detail once that dries with those little center divots, okay? But for now, let's just let that dry and let's work on the tail. Okay, so on the tail, we're going to drop in that same green that we used at the shoulder. Right here. Okay, I'm going to take my detail brush and drag that down. Into the tail. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop in more of that same green to fill in the rest of the tail, because we need that green base coat so that those colors will match. When we do the greens and the coral. Okay, so just make sure we have a slight tint of green all the way through the tail. And then we'll add in our stripes. Okay, so we're going to start with that coral stripe right here at the top of the shoulder. Just make sure it's blended. Then we'll do that blue-green right up underneath it. Remember, these smaller areas, you don't need as much pigment, so pick some of it up if you need to. Then use water to blend it out so that it's lighter. Okay. All right. Then take the coral and do that next stripe. And push it up and drag it down. Okay. So you see how that's making those stripes subtle? That's the idea, is to make subtle stripes. You don't want it to be like super bright. You want it to be blended stripes. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the blue. Hang on, I'm going to let the dog out. My husband just got home and the dog's going crazy to go outside and greet him. Go. He's going crazy to go outside and greet him. All right. Green right here. Drag it up. And down. And then coral. Right here. Drag it up. Good. Now the green, all we're doing is just continuing this process along the tail as we did with the arms. And just like we did both of the arms. Okay, let's do the coral. I love the coral color in this set of paints. It's a really pretty color. Okay, now let's do the blue-green. Again, we're getting into the smaller sections, so we don't need as much pigment, so use more water if you need to lighten them up so they don't overpower and they're, you know, cohesive with the remainder of the tail. And the coral. Hey, Jess, how's it going? How are you? This is taking much longer than I expected to do this little guy, but he's going to be super cute when we get done. Remember to use lots of water so it's not too much. I'm kind of making these stripes a little wider so we're not having to do this 47 million times, but seems as though it's still taking a long time to do all these stripes. Now the color will be a little bit more concentrated in the end of the tail because it'll be darker. So that's okay if you get a little darker, but just don't overdo it. See, like that's way too dark. So I'm going to add some water to that and drag it a little bit more so that it lightens up. And then the last part is the coral. Right here at the very end of the tail. So we'll add some water and drag that through. And now we have our stripes for our tail done. Okay, that looks pretty good so far. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? It must be in the air, Jess, because my daughter woke up this morning with a migraine. She told me the same thing. She said it woke her up like 3 times last night. Must be the barometric pressure or something. Okay, hang on one second. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and do the insides of our popcorn. Good grief, I have popcorn in the brain because I did a popcorn thing yesterday. The insides of our popsicle, okay? So we're going to need to do a little bit of a darker yellow. So I'm going to use this darker yellowish orange to go right along the inside of our little popsicle. And I just did a little U for the shape of the popsicle on both sides of that section. Okay. Then we're going to do the pink. So I'm going to dip into that pink. I'm going to go right along this side right here with the pink. Kind of blending it into the yellow. Just slightly. And bringing it down. Same thing here. Oops. Okay. Now, the blue. And we're going to bring that around like this. Okay. Now we're going to take clear water and we're just going to blend that out to make a square. So we're going to take it and we're just going to kind of drag that pigment across. Make sure it's wet enough to drag. Smooth it out. If you need to, you can pick up whatever color pigment because that's not blending very well because it dried. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of it and drag it myself like that. And I'm going to take the pink and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of give myself a little bit of a shadow, kind of drag it across. Just like that. And then the blue. So it looks like we have kind of that indentation in our popsicle. Okay. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Grab that yellow. Make sure you have enough water on your brush to drag the pigment. Then get some of the pink. Drop it in. Get some water. Make sure it's enough water that it's not too dark. and drag it across. And then the blue. Thank you, the Life of Christ. I appreciate that. All right, now we're going to go right here and drag that pigment. And lots of water. Remember, anytime you're wanting to blend, you want to add lots of water in there. Okay. That way you can blend it all. Now, if you want to pick up color, add water and then dry your brush and pick it up with that. All right, so there's our little popsicle. We got that little shadow in there. Okay. Now we want a little bit of a shadow on the edge right here. So I'm going to do that same thing. I'm just going to darken up the edges right along here, along the left side. I'm going to blend it as I go, so I don't have to go back like I did on that other part. Okay. Pink. Just darken it up just a tad. Not too much. Make sure it's blended. Add water wherever you need to blend it. And then we'll go in with the blue. Just a little bit of color and a lot of water. Okay. And there we have our popsicle. All right, that looks good. Now it's time to start putting in our details with our micron pen first, or with our Grabby multi-liner. I'm using the Grabby multi-liner. So let's go ahead and dry this up. And we'll put in some detail on this guy to start. Okay, so let's do the eyes first. You know, we want to bring the personality out, and when we do the eyes, that's usually when the personality comes out. So let's go ahead and draw in the rest of these eyes. Now remember, we talked about those shadows under the eyes. We're going to have those same little scaly eyes right up underneath here. So do those scales. They get smaller as they get to the corner of the eye. So we have those, and we'll do that same thing over here. And we'll draw in those same little scales under the eyes. Okay, and we'll fill in some shadows, some more shadows there in just a second. But let's go ahead and get this done. So let's do the little pupils. Okay, and we're going to draw the middle really dark. Make those a little bit bigger. Okay, and then we're going to go in with the blue. And I'm just going to use my teeny tiny number 10 for the blue. And I'm going to use the light blue in this palette, this light blue right here. And I'm going to drop in the blue of the eyes. And that's why I like these markers, these Grabby pens, because they don't smear. I can put water over them and not worry about them smearing. And I'm not filling this in completely. I'm leaving some white space, kind of like so that it looks like it's kind of got some highlights in the eye. okay, which is what we want. Okay, now we'll go in with a detail brush in a minute and do some more highlights, but take your number 12, dip into this gray and mix it really light with lots of water. Like I want a really light gray. Okay, and then I want, hold on a second. Uh-oh, hang on, I just got a text about my mom. Let me check it. Okay. All right, they're gonna send her to the hospital for a CT scan just to check her head and make sure everything's good. But looks like they just are doing it for precautionary reasons. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just texting them back to let them know that I'm paying attention to what they're sending me. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take, where was I at? What was I doing? Let me look. Oh, we were taking our gray. All right, so we're going to take this gray and we're going to put this into our eyes here just a little bit, okay? And we're going to do it right along the base of this, the eye right here. And right along the top of the eye right here to give it a little bit of a shadow, okay? Now rinse your brush. Uh-oh, where did my paper towel go? I dropped it. I need a new one anyway. It was kind of drenched and soaked, so I'll get me a new one. All right. Now take some clear water and just kind of blend that out so there's no harsh lines. And that gray just kind of fades into the eye. Okay. And we'll do that same thing right here and here. Clear water, blend it. Okay, so we have a little bit of gray in there. And then now take your grabby pen and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start kind of outlining this. And I'm just giving it kind of some little whimsy lines as we go. And right through here, we're going to give it those little nodules as we go down. Okay. And we're going to give it some squigglies. And right off the eyes, we're going to give it some more. Okay. Here, give it a little smile line and then kind of go right up underneath that and give it a little bit of a shadow. We're going to give it some little whimsies right here at the corner of the mouth and bring it down. Okay, so that's kind of random the way that I'm doing that, guys. There's no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing these little squigglies. I just want it to be whimsical. Okay, so as much or as little of that as you want as you go around the head. I'm using the 003 because that is always the best one when it comes to like hair, I feel like. And give him some eyelashes and maybe some eyelashes here too. And then we'll do some of those little whimsical squigglies too. They can be broken up too. They don't have to be perfect. The idea is for it to look kind of disheveled, right? We want disheveledness. I'm going to have one coming out from behind the popsicle. Then on the popsicle, we're going to go along here. Give it a little bit on this side of the indentions, not much. And I'm not doing any on the right side of those indentions. Okay. Popsicle stick. And just giving it some whimsy. And the fingers. Okay. Maybe put a few little whimsical hairs coming off of his little fingers. And then again, down the belly. Now on the belly, there's going to be, well, let's not do that just yet. Let's go ahead and do the mouth. Give him some little chin hairs. And the arm. And again, just a little bit off the arms. I kind of drag, so I drag down and whip it out so that it kind of looks like it connects. Okay. And then right along the belly here, let's do some good little whimsies coming off of that. And then we're going to go up around the leg area. And this comes down. And we'll put a shadow right there so that looks better. And then over here, same thing. And again, just a little bit of hair coming off. And here too. Okay. And now we'll do the tail. All right, where's everybody at? Y'all let me know. How's it going? All right, let's, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump that. Let's do the nose. The tongue. He looks cute, guys. All right, now we're going to want to do some shadows. So get your teeny tiny number 10 brush and let's go in with this coral color and get a few shadows up underneath these little scales. Okay, and drag that down with some clear water just so that it blends. Okay, and then do the same thing on the other side. Thank you, Life of Christ. All right, Kinder's caught up. Good. All right, we're all doing well. It's good. Let's get these shadows up underneath these scales right here. And then take some clear water and drag those out. Good. All right. Very good. Now, we want to have a few little, bring these all the way down, and kind of give yourself a little bit of a guide with just some dashes, not too much. Okay. Don't want to overdo it. With the chin, let's come up just a tad with some shadowing right here at the chin. And right here. Okay. Also right here. Just going to give it a little bit of whimsy textures across the belly. Some hatching in the corners. Okay, and then also some hatching right here where the legs meet. Where our shadows go. Okay. All right, that looks good. Let's see, some right here where this meets. And I think that's good. Okay. All right, take your number 12. Get a little bit of this dark brown. Let's do a shadow right up underneath the popsicle right here like this. And then also right here, up underneath the hand and the thumb. Okay. Let's see, where else do we need some shadows? All right, let's pull out some colored pencils and get some shadowing done on the belly. So I'm going to pull out this green, which is the yellowish green. And I'm going to pull out the grass green. And I'm going to pull out the olive green. I'm also going to pull out my yellowish ochre color, which is, I use this one all the time. Sorry, it's a ginger yellow. And pull that out as well. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to use this light green, and I'm going to kind of come up on the belly. This is just light pressure, guys. In all these shadow areas. Okay. And I'm going to take that grass green, and I'm going to kind of come out with that a little ways. Not too much. Not near as far as the lime green. And then I'm going to do the olive green. And I'm going to just go along the edges, and that's it. Okay. Now I'm going to do medium pressure. And I'm going to do that exact same thing with medium pressure. See how this is giving it depth? And then I'm going to blend it with this grass green again with heavy pressure. I'm not going to go back in a third time with those colors. I don't want it to be too much. But I am going to take my white and I'm going to blend the center out. If I can find my white. Here it is. And I'm going to blend the center out just a little bit. Okay. And that kind of gives that belly a little bit of depth. Okay. Same thing here. And here. Light pressure. Okay, medium pressure. And then, oh, I didn't do this down here. And then heavy pressure on the blend. And then the white. You could also use like a paper blender if you wanted to without using the white. Okay, so that does all of the green areas. So let's put those back. And then we'll do a tiny space. There's a tiny space between the belly and the back where the tail should connect. Oh yeah, you're right. Right here. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to fill that in with green. I'll just shade it in like this. Thank you for pointing that out because you are absolutely correct. I'm not even going to use my watercolor to do it. I'm just going to do it here. There we go. Correct. Okay. All right. Now, hang on one second. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I'm reading texts as they come through, guys, just to make sure I'm keeping up with what's going on with my mom. So forgive me if I just all of a sudden stop talking for a moment. Okay, I'm going to use this orange sienna. That's going to be the dark color. I'm going to use this fresh tint. It's a metallic. And I'm going to use, I need a light pinky color. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this azalea pink. Okay, so those are my 3 colors I'm using for the coral areas. Okay, so we're going to go in right here at the top with this pink, right along the edges and into these shadows. Okay, and then we're going to take that medium metallic color and we're going to go a little bit further out, but not as far as the light pink color. Okay, and then we'll take the dark and we'll go right along the edges. This is light pressure. Okay, let me sharpen this. Okay. All right, again, let's do the pink. Medium pressure. This is all medium pressure. This is that second color. And then, whoops, and then we'll go in with this, the darkest color. I'm going to blend that all the way into the green. Okay, and then let's blend it with this white. Okay. All right, that gives him a little bit of depth on his face. Let's do the feet and hands. Go with the pink. Light pressure. Medium color. Dark. Oops, missed some. And then the dark. These are smaller areas, so we can do medium to heavy pressure to start. We won't have to do as much. And then blend it out with a heavy pressure. Okay. All right, now we're going to take this same dark coral that we used. I'm sorry, the dark color, the orange sienna. And we're going to use that to give some shadows to these stripes. So we're just going to go in at the base of each one of the coral stripes. And we're just going to give a little bit of a shadow there. Okay, And now we're going to do that with the blue-green. So I'm going to find a blue-green color that matches that, which is going to be this turquoise. And we're going to do that same thing. We're going to kind of go with the base of these. We just kind of want to highlight these stripes a bit, not too much. And I'm going to go in with this dark right here for a shadow too, while I can. I'm going to use a white to blend that out. Blend over all of these. Good. Because we don't want them to be like overpowering. Right now, they're a little dark, but when you go over them with the white, it dulls them down just enough to where it looks like a shadow. So just make sure you dull them down. Okay, so there we go. That looks good. All right, now I love that gray in the eyes. It makes them really stand out. Now we probably want a little bit of a darker shadow. Oh goodness. Okay, so she's got some compressed ribs and that's what's bothering her, but it's not broken, so that's good. And they're going to do a CT scan and see how her head looks, so we'll see what that says. So that's good. Okay, sorry guys. I'm just giving you guys that we're here, do an update. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to go in with a little bit of, let me see how I want to do this. I want to put some darker shadows right on the inside of these eyes here, but I don't want it to be too dark, but I need it to be much, much darker than, I'm going to use a black, and I'm going to be very careful with this black. So I'm going to add some water. So I'm putting it in the one I had the gray in, and I'm going to make it, you know, like a dark gray. And I'm going to go very carefully right along, I'm using my 12, right along here. And right along here. And right along. Okay, guys, sorry. My phone is, it's heating up. It keeps giving me a temperature warning on my phone. And I'm on my other plug that's not rapid charging, so I don't know why it's doing that. I've needed a new phone for a while, and I don't know if you guys are like me, but I hate switching phones. But I guess I'm going to have to, because this thing is not wanting to, it just keeps heating up, even with my other cord. So we're going to get through this as best we can. I apologize, guys. Okay, so what I was doing was I was adding shadows to the eyes. So I'm using this dark, dark gray, and I'm just going in right here at the eyes, and I'm giving it a teeny tiny bit of a shadow that's darker than that gray that we already put in there. Okay. All right. So there's that. Good. That was just a little bit of the last part of what I wanted to do. Now we do need to put some highlights in the eyes with the white gel pen. I'm going to pull my white Lango pen out, and that is the one that I'm going to use to put those highlights in. Let me find my white. Okay. And I'm going to just do a little teeny tiny bit of highlights in the eye. Oh, I need to, right. Hang on a second. There we go. Okay. All right, we're going to go a small little highlight there and a larger one right there. And then a little one here and a larger one there. Okay, for a highlight. Okay. And then, hang on one second. Okay, these are the paints that I'm using. Sorry, and they were pinned earlier, but then I got kicked out. So, all right, so there we are. So now it's time to go ahead and do the base, the sand underneath this. So we're just gonna put some clear water right here. Sorry, I'm trying to hurry because I know my phone's gonna heat up and kick me out again, and I don't want to do that. Add in some brown. Add in the brown color for the sand or the ground up underneath them. Just like that. And then we're going to add in our sky. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some blue, whatever blue you want to use. I'm going to use their cerulean blue. I'm just going to kind of splatter it all in here wherever we want it for the sky. Now, I don't want it to be solid blue, so I'm just kind of putting it, you know, where it looks, you know, just putting some splotches of blue in. Okay. And then I'm going to dry it. And then once we dry it, we are going to splatter. You can even put some darker blue in places if you want. Just because I want it to have some depth to it. So I'm going to put some darker blue in some places, so it doesn't look so uniform. Okay. And then let's splatter with some green. I'm going to use this grass green and the olive green. And I'm going to splatter. Now I'm going to cover his face so that he doesn't, so it doesn't mess up his little eyes, because I love the way his eyes are and I don't want to mess them up by dropping paint in them. So I'm going to cover him up, and now I'm going to splatter this green. Okay, so we're going to, okay. There we go. All right, let's lift his face up, and there we have it. Oh, I think he's cute, guys. What do y'all think? Y'all give me some feedback, please. Let's go ahead and dry it, and we'll tear the tape. Okay. Oh, it's not quite dry. Okay. All right, are y'all ready to tear the tape off? How's everybody doing? Talia, Kinder Kelly, are you guys still on here? Sorry, I've had such horrible, thank you, the Life of Christ, such horrible reception. I knew I was going to have issues today. I already knew it. I almost didn't even come on here, but I felt like I needed to because I had missed last week so much. All right, there we are. He is cute, though. He turned out cute. You are so welcome, Talia. I'm glad yours turned out good. I am. I think he turned out super cute. I love the popsicle. I think that looks really good. Love, love, love it. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and sign it first. And let me just sign my name here. So cute. Now let's compare him to the one that's on my Patreon this month. If you guys are members of that, this is the tutorial you're getting for that this month. But I don't know. I think I like him better than this one. I think he turned out cuter. I do feel like there needs to be some shadowing across here a little bit, kind of like this was. But I also feel like this one needs some little marks here, down there. Okay. But either way, I think he looks great. I'm really pleased with him, and I love the way that he turned out. So I will get this uploaded to my Tube of You if you missed today's tutorial, so you can have it. And I will make sure that it gets uploaded as soon as possible. Again, I'm having internet issues, and I'm having problems with a lot right now. It's like the devil is in all my technology right now. And I'm not surprised, because things are going well and he's trying to bring me down, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. So just FYI, today was a great tutorial, even with all the technical issues. I had fun, and I'm glad you guys joined me. If anybody has any questions on any of the products that we used, I'm happy to answer those. But this was today's tutorial. I will get it downloaded, uploaded to my Tube of You. In case you missed it, you'll be able to grab the replay. And if you want this one, you can get this one on the Patreon link. So that is also available this month. Okay. Any questions on anything that we have done today? This, again, I'll try to pop on tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have all my new internet equipment hooked up by tomorrow, and I can pop on and have a decent live tomorrow and not all the interruptions. And I will be on, let's see, tomorrow is Tuesday morning. So I'll be on tomorrow morning between 10 and 11. Anytime between 10 and 11, you can expect me to pop on, and I will do that. If I'm on any other time than when I tell you for tutorials, then it's because I'm doing other products. Because I do other product lives, because I have to make a living. So, these are my little art tutorial fun lives, but I also have work lives that I do as well. So tomorrow's tutorial will be between 10 and 11. I will pop on. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Everybody that made purchases today, thank you so much for that as well. And you can always reach out to me privately. Please support my showcase when you can. Also, if you haven't grabbed your engagement points right here, click that heart me and grab those. Thank you for all the gifts that you guys gave me today. That was also very much appreciated. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow at between 10 and 11 tomorrow to do another tutorial. This one was today's, and he turned out so cute. I really love him. So I'll see you guys then. All right. Thank you guys for all of your patience. And thank you, Life of Christ. I appreciate that so much for those gifts. So those of you who are patient today with all the technical difficulties, I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you for the heart me, and all the shares and likes and all the purchases. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Bye.